Hello everyone, this is Satish here. Today we'll discuss about the Spring Boot Couchbase communication. So for that I have a small application which is a Spring Boot application which is running in my machine, and I'm also having a Couchbase which is running in my local right now. And I want to make a communication between our Spring Boot application and the Couchbase using the Java SDK. And also I will be taking a different example to achieve the same thing using the Spring Boot starter data Couchbase dependency. So these are the two dependencies which I'll be using to communicate between the Spring Boot and the Couchbase. So the topic for discussion is that version. The version is very important. So sometimes there are scenarios where you will not be able to communicate between your Spring Boot to the Couchbase using the Java SDK. Specific to the Java SDK can be the reason related to the version of the Java SDK which you are using. So try upgrading or updating the version and testing it out if it not works, because there is not much code which we need to write for making this communication from the Spring Boot to the Couchbase. So yeah, keep in consideration, like version is an important thing here. And second is the bucket. We'll be creating some bucket, and then we will be moving the document from one bucket to the next bucket using our Spring Boot application. So that is the target. And important also, index, we need to create an index also. So on the bucket we'll be writing some queries and try to execute the query. So for executing the query we need to create a index on that bucket. So that is important, that way I will cover. And yeah, object mapper, this is simply just writing, because the document which we get from the Java SDK using NIQL queries, so that will be in a form of a JSON which we can convert it to our Java objects using the object mapper. So yeah, that is also I have included somewhere in the project. I'll explain that. And yeah, the two important thing is the Java SDK and the Spring Boot. So let's jump back to the Java SDK part. So I am into the official website of the Spring Couchbase. So here we have the Java SDK. So it has a SDK for different languages as well. So I'm using for the Java SDK, and there are multiple versions here. So keep a note on the version. If it doesn't work, try upgrading or degrading the version and test it out. And yeah, so here we have they have given an example how to run in your application. So basically you have to include this dependency, and then you need to make a connection to your cluster using cluster.connect. You have to pass the address of your Couchbase and then the username and password. So this username and password is from the security of the Couchbase. So yeah, before jumping to that, I will just give you a quick overview of my Couchbase running in my local right now. So this is running in my local, and the version which I am using is 6.6.2 as of now. And yeah, the security, in security we have users. So this we can create multiple users. So as of now I already created a test user, and this user is a full admin. You can see the role, and it has a username and password. So, and it is admin, it has access to all the operations, and it can also do some all the read and write on the bucket as well, and many more operations as well. So that is for the test user. And yeah, that's pretty much about. And we have bucket. So as of now I don't have any bucket. I'll create some bucket as we move ahead. So this is pretty much about the connection, sorry, how we can make a connection to our connection string. How we can set up the connection using the cluster.connect and everything. Here the concept here is that in the Couchbase we have a cluster. On that cluster we have buckets. So that's why we need to first make a connection to the cluster, and once we have a control over the cluster, we can connect to the different buckets and read, write, and perform all the CRUD operations which we can do here. Yeah, that's pretty much they have the example. So I'll be using a similar example to achieve the same thing. Yeah, so let's jump back to the application. So in the application, let's minimize everything, and then I'll explain one by one everything. So we have two different ways to connect, as I said in the image here. So we have using the Java SDK and the Spring Data Couchbase. So let's show you the pom.xml. So in the pom.xml we have two dependencies. This is for the this part which we'll be covering next, the Spring Data, and currently we'll be using the Java SDK. So this is the Java SDK. So I'm using the 3.0.0 version. So the recent version till this date is 3.2. So I can also increase the version, but yeah, that's the call of the developer if it's something is not working. So currently both the versions are working in my machine, but I just keep it as a 3.0. yeah, that is pretty much the pom.xml, and I have other common dependencies like Lombok I'm using. And yeah, and in the resources I have this application properties file. I have the application will be running on this port number 7770, and this is the URL of my Couchbase which is running in my local, and the user, this is the security user, the test user, and the password here. And I'll be creating two buckets and moving the data from one bucket to the next bucket, the bucket 1 from bucket 2. So these two also I have included here. And just to give you how it works, basically we have the code overview. We have the Couchbase, means this is a configuration file where I'll be reading some data from the properties, and I'll be connecting it to the Couchbase cluster. So this is the example I have taken from their website. So if I go and show you that, so they have the same example here in managing Couchbase. So they have multiple ways to connect. You can use any of this. So I'm using this approach basically. So here I'm creating some seed node and then the authenticator, and I'll be adding it to the options and passing it to the our cluster.connect. So this is the example which I'm basically using. So just to verify, I'll give the same thing here, like I just copy pasted the same thing, and as per my requirement we can also do this using cluster.connect, the simplest example, which is this one. But as I was trying different things, so I just included that. So this is the simplest example also we can connect. So it depends on the purpose. If it's running on your some Dockerized container, so you might have to use some different ways to connect, but as a simple application you can also use this. So yeah, that's the pretty much about how it's been configured here in the configuration file. And we have the controller. This is basically a simple controller where I have only one operation is to move the document from one bucket to the next bucket. So if I go back to these, this is the service. Basically in the service I am basically getting the name of the bucket from the properties file, and here what I am doing, basically I am querying the Couchbase and selecting the document, like the first two documents here from the bucket 1. So the limit here is 2, so I'll be selecting the first. Let me expand this. Yeah, so this I'll be selecting the two buckets here, and on the bucket I am just printing the data of the bucket, like what are the individual document of the bucket, and then I'll be adding that add to the second bucket. So this is my operation, add to the bucket. So I'm adding to the bucket 2, and then I'll be deleting from the bucket 1. So adding to the bucket 2, I'll be using a very simple CRUD operation which they have in their website, like so we can so we have a control over the cluster. So we already have the control over the cluster. We have connected to the cluster using the config file. So we have the cluster is already created. So I'm just auto wired here in my in the service here, and on that cluster what we'll be doing in the add to bucket is that on the cluster I will be getting the bucket first from the cluster, and then I am creating a collection here, and in this collection I'm just upserting the document which I want to move to the second bucket. Like upsert is basically add to the second bucket, add or update. So in my case is basically add, so I can use add as well, but as of now I'm using upsert here. And also I'm altering the document as well. I'm changing some of the properties, like there are some key values pair here. I'm adding some more key value pairs here. So that means we can also perform some different activities as well. So that's why I've taken this example. It's not limited, like we cannot do any manipulation with the object. We can do it. That's all up to the developer how they want to use it. Yeah, and once I have added few properties, I'll be upserting the document into the bucket 2, and I'm using the same ID. So the important here is that every document is associated to the ID, so we have to give the ID as well, ID and the document. And then in the delete from the bucket, basically I'm just writing a simple query here. So whatever the document we have added here, so I'm deleting by the name here. So so in my case is a simple example. So every document has a unique name that which I am considering. So the document which has been added with a given name, I'll delete the document from the bucket 1, which is our source bucket, and then in this bucket the document will be deleted. Yeah, and one important thing is that whatever the query, so this is a simple query using the query result, I'm basically asking Couchbase to give me some documents using some limit. I can also write some complex query using where clause and all. So that all depends on the use case, and then once I have the query ready, I can basically get all the object on the result, and then on all the different JSON object I'm performing some queries. That's all up to the how, if someone wants to implement in different way, they can implement that. Yeah, so that's pretty much about like what is this service which has been implemented. And the model I have Couchbase document. So the use here, the only use I am doing here in this example is that I'm just mapping it and printing it into the console, so there is no other requirement. So that's why I've taken the example of the object mapper. You can also use that. And service, yeah, service I already explained. This is the service only, and this is our Spring Boot application, a simple application, no code in the main file. Yeah, so with that I will quickly go and create some of the buckets. So let's create that. So bucket one, so I have total 380 MB, so I'll use 100 MB. 100 is the minimum number which we have to provide, and I'll create a different bucket. Two buckets I need to create for this example. So this is bucket 2, and we can also provide some advanced bucket setting. So as of now I'm keeping the default whatever they have and give it as 100 MB, and I'll be adding this bucket as well. So we have two buckets. So one important thing I mentioned in the starting, so in the topic, we also have to create the index on the bucket. If we don't create, it will not work. These queries which we have in our service here, these queries will not work until we create the index. So let's create the index. So quickly go to the Couchbase. So for creating the index, we will simply run some query on the Couchbase. So we have a query section here. We can run insert any upsert queries like CRUD operation we can do here. So for now I'm just creating two index. So I'll create index on the bucket 1. So index has been created successfully, and I'll create index on the bucket 2. So two index will be created. If you want to verify, you can check this. So this index is created, and this index is also created just now. So these two indexes are placed on these two buckets. And let's add some document. Meanwhile I'll also start my application, so we don't have to wait much. So let's start in the debug mode. Quickly add some documents, add the document, add. So in this example I am using, my document should be in this way, otherwise it will not work. User 1, we'll add few more. Let's add this to second user, we'll add third user as well. So we have to give the ID and then the document which we want to insert. So this is our third user. Let's take only 3 users. So yeah, the users has been created, so we can also run queries here and see and get the data, like select all from bucket 1. If we do, we'll get all the 3 documents. So yeah, this is the part where we'll get all the documents has been there. Yeah, let's try to get this. So yeah, let's try to move two of this user from bucket 1 to bucket 2. So as of now in bucket 1 we have 3 users, so I'll be moving the first and the second user to the bucket 2, and also I'll be adding the timestamp, which is I explained in the code. So yeah, that's our application is up and running on the port number 7770. Let's go and yeah, so this is the endpoint which I'll be hitting. So this is exactly in the controller I have. This is Couchbase SDK, and then move is the URL. So this is the complete URL, and I'll be basically calling this, and this is simply a get method I have. So let's call this and see the behavior. Yeah, so it's been 200. Okay, and yeah, let's verify that in the bucket here as well. So you can see we have it becomes 1 from 3, and 2 documents has been added here. And the document, as I said, I'll be adding the timestamp as well, so I added that. And the values are present on the second document, which are moved here. So this is how we can achieve like this is simple example from one bucket to the next bucket. We can also do some complex examples as well. So this is just to understand things like how it has been working. So I am keeping a very basic example. Yeah, with that I will move to the second part. So before that I have to comment out all the codes here, because at a given time we can only have one of the ways we can make the thing work. We cannot use both of them, both of the configuration file at one time. So let's comment this out. I'll comment everything for the Java SDK part. No, not this service also I need to comment. Okay, this has been commented out. Let's also comment, we should have commented only the config file, but I commented everything. So let's comment out this, the second example which I'll be covering. So let's comment out. Yeah, so before, let's close all the files, close all tabs. Yeah, let's also, yeah, main Java Spring Data. So this is the example which we are in. So before going to the code, let me explain you from where I have taken this example. So this is from the Spring Docs. So also we need to include the dependency here, like the Spring Data Couchbase. And then once we have the dependency, we need to make a connection. So this configuration file we need to create, and we need to extend this abstract Couchbase configuration, and we need to override four different methods here and pass all the relevant information like the URL of the Couchbase and the user. Here is our security user and the password and the bucket which you want to connect. We can also make a connection to the different bucket as well, so that we can also explore. But as of now I'm keeping it simple. I'm just making a means I'm just interacting with the only one bucket in my example as well. So this is the configuration file, and let's jump back to the code here, and in that I have the configuration file in place. So in the configuration file I have extended, as I have just used the same example which they have, and there's no more logic I have written. So only thing is that I am taking the values out from my configuration, it's application properties file, and these are the four different methods which I am overriding here. And in the controller basically, so in the controller we have this is the controller. In the controller I am basically doing two things. I am saving the document and getting the document. So these are the two different means APIs which I'll be calling. And in the model I have exactly the same model here, like the we have ID and the name, and this is our type document here, and we have like getters and setters are in place. And yeah, here in the repository we also need to create a repository, so it gives a very good way how we can interact with the bucket. So we don't need to write. So in the previous example we wrote some code like NIQL queries to make a connection, like get the data, insert the data, delete the data. So all these things we can avoid using the Couchbase repository here. So this is a fancy way we can make use of this dependency and make some CRUD operations here. So yeah, with that I will quickly go and run the application. Yeah, and also I have this in place. So this is the get method, and let's add. So this will add it to the bucket one. So whatever the document I will add, it will add to the bucket one. So we can also go and clean the bucket. So in the bucket one we have one document, but that's okay, we can leave that. That's that's the advantage of the document oriented data structures and all. Yeah, so the application is up and running on the same port number, and let's go and add some documents. So ID1 already exists, so let's add some random ID5, and this will be the user 5 I'll give. And so the method here will be post and send the document. Yeah, so the document has been saved. Let's verify that. So you can see the count increased from 1 to 2. Also see the document. So if I go and look at the document, you can see we have the name and the ID which we provided. Basically it's been used here, so we are not saving the ID here. So and then the class for which the document has been added, so this is the class, and I can go ahead and add one more document. And then I'll use the get operation to get the data. Yeah, so the two documents added using this approach. Let's see the retrieve the recent documents. I have user 5 and user 6, and if I want to get the document, I can also get the document using the get method. So the URL will be the same, and so this is like find all the documents. Okay, so body is not required, let's remove. And yeah, even though with body no issues. Yeah, so we have the two documents which has been returned using 5 and 6, but the important thing to notice here, like we have 3 documents but it return only 2. So what it's basically doing behind the scenes is basically going and checking means finding all the documents which is of the Couchbase document, the class is present or not in the document. If it's present, it will go and return the data. So if I go and manually add a data, let's verify that whether it works or not. Let add a document with an ID 7 and save this. You say user 7. Okay, so manually I added this and try to retrieve, it will work. So let's work this out as well. Yeah, so it works as well. So this basically it is behind the scene, it is also looking for this class, and if that matches, so then only it will return those documents only. So as of now it is not returning this document, that is the reason. Yeah, so that's what we can do using the Spring Data Couchbase dependency, and we can perform many more CRUD operations as well. So for that there are a lot of things which we can do. So just to give you a brief about how we can connect, and what are the different ways through which we can connect, and what are the different issues we can get. One very important issue is to consider the version, like keep changing the version if it doesn't work, or go to some documentation and try to find out what is the relevant documentation which they are saying in their official website before starting. So that's very important. And yeah, and one more thing, there can be scenarios where it's running in your machine but it might not run in the environment where you need to deploy. So let's say you this code I need to deploy to some production or alpha environment. So in that case as well, there can be scenarios it might not work there. So you need to try out different ways to means one common thing is the changing the version, and other common thing is to, if you are using the Java SDK, you can also go and look for what are the different ways you can make a connection. So there are very simple ways to make a connection. There are other ways to make a connection as well. So this is the one which I showed you in the beginning. So this is how we can make a connection. So this basically, if your Couchbase server is running on some container, and inside the container and outside the container the port numbers are different, you can provide those using this these two values, and you can add these two values into your cnode.create. So this is from what they give us the information, and using this you can basically go and create that. So many things to explore here. Check on the versions and try using different approaches if it doesn't work for you, and also keep in mind giving and also look at the different things here. So we have multiple things here, like we can see the cluster which is running, and all the informations like the graphs and also a lot of things to know from here. So if you keep exploring, you will able to get that. So that's what I wanted to say. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.